Before we could start digging, we had to break the concrete base with the concrete breaker. Originally we had a small digger, but we did have to get this big beast in. I'll explain why. So because of the beautiful hedge that you can see just along there, we actually had to go down 2.5 metres, and then the wall started caving in, which was very exciting. Normally you only have to go down 1 metre, which we did do at the back and at the front, so that went smoothly, but at the side, because it's closer to the bush, within 10 metres, we had to go down 2.5 metres. Just to keep it very normal. Here's the kids absolutely loving their lives. So at this point the holes had been exposed for over a week now. Usually you would dig and put concrete straight in to avoid it all caving in basically, which it did start to do, and then obviously that can cause massive issues, more expenditure on concrete, so we had to do it quickly, which is why there's 2 diggers, the little one and the big one. And it's also clay right the way through, so that's another issue. It doesn't absorb any water, it just dries out and then starts cracking and falling in. But this was very, very satisfying to watch. They were actually laughing at me during this because I was hanging out the bathroom window watching them. Also, just to add, they were frantically doing this because they had to do it on the day that it was being delivered, so they had about 4 hours to actually dig 2.5 metres down. They'd already done 1 metre, but we've also had to add those boards in, and also the clay boards, which may I add are pointless, don't understand them at all, basically like polystyrene. They do nothing, they break, so useless, but obviously you have to follow the rules, which is fun. At this stage of an extension, you are very, very much under control of the building inspectors and building control, hence having to go down 2.5 metres. That wasn't out of choice. It was because of the type of bush apparently that is next to it. I don't know. I'm sure they're right. I'm sure they know what they're doing, but when you have to spend over 3 times more money, that doesn't feel great, to be honest. But you are playing the game at the end of the day, so once we're past this stage, hopefully everything should be smooth sailing, and we can just move on from this and forget it never happened. So I'm actually stood in the original kitchen now, so this was all before it was filled in with concrete, just to show you. Obviously so messy, thanks to those dishes. This is round the back, so went absolutely as it should have. 1 metre down, concrete in, no problem whatsoever. And then same with the front now. Obviously that's the front of the house, so you can see where it's all just gone in, and all went very, very smoothly, so that's good. So in the end, just because we had to get it done so quickly, the reason we had 2 diggers there is because the little digger the arms didn't go down long enough. So we had to get the big digger in, which you wouldn't usually have to do. But then we also had someone on the tractor with the bin, just so that we could empty it as quickly as possible and carry on. Then we go on to the exciting cement mixers. So we had 5 loads of concrete that went into it in total. We should have had about 3, I think, 2.5 maybe. So a lot more than expected. And I don't know if anyone is aware how expensive concrete is. So very exciting for us, but yeah, it was so satisfying that you could literally just see it pouring straight in, and yeah, it dries within 24 hours as well, which is obviously ideal when you have children. Now the concrete's in, we can start worrying about the next stage of the extension. Please follow along if you'd like to see each stage.